All right. So let's go ahead and get into the last topic, which is the Twitch situation. So to me, nobody gave a fuck and nobody was paying attention to this Twitch situation until Candace Dillard Bassett brought herself down to the internet with this tweet. I'm not even going to say it, but then proceeds to say it. But this white woman is doing everything but protecting her black children and her black husband's legacy. She could have kept this in her therapist's office, shaking my head. And I know a lot of y'all feel this way. I'm letting y'all know right now, I disagree with y'all. And if that's going to really upset you, go ahead and click off the live, girl. She could have gone into the black church and called Creflo or TD to help her tell this story. She's telling a story for herself and not for her husband or her children, which I think is the wrong course of action. So I'm gonna say this. Didn't and somebody else made this point. So this is not my own personal point, but I've seen it floating around. Did you or did you not go to people when you wanted to show us your biracial baby, Candace? Candace, what's going on with you and your white husband right now? Are y'all okay? Are y'all okay? Like, why are you telling this lady she needed to go and pander to black people in order to tell the story for her and her husband? I don't understand. I
There
don't.
was
Yeah, please, let's listen.
a moment I was with one of my really dear friends, and we were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for him for the funeral. And it was a really triggering moment for me because there was a lot of things I discovered in our closet that I did not know existed. And it was very alarming to me to learn that there was so much happening that I had no clue. So it was a really scary moment in my life to figure that out. But it also helped me process that he was going through so much and he was hiding so much. And there must have been a lot of shame in that. And he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone, because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. But it was very alarming and scary to find those things and have never known. I have been trying to release. There was a
So I wish I heard the part of this that sounded bad, or when she called him an addict. But I didn't hear her call him an addict. Maybe it's in another clip somewhere. But either way, she said he was battling things. He committed suicide, everybody. I think that goes without saying. Are y'all okay? No, for real. Are y'all okay? Because y'all are all like, oh, she's tarnishing his image. Y'all, he committed suicide. People don't do that for no reason. People don't do that because they're happy and they're content and they're smiling all the time. Like, that's crazy for y'all to respond like her saying just that. And I'm talking about just from this clip. We're going to get into the other stuff. But just from this clip, everybody is losing their damn mind. It's their private business. Well, guess what? Once somebody dies, it's no longer their private business. If he didn't get rid of his journals, if he left them to be found, knowing that he was going to unalive himself, guess what? He may have wanted her to go through them and find out what he could not verbalize to her. Because y'all know a lot of times people be wanting to tell their spouse the shit that they carrying, but they feel so much shame and guilt that they can't say it to him. So maybe he wanted her to find his journals so that she could understand. Maybe he would have wanted her to put the story out there to help people, because to me, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but I think a lot of black people are triggered because what goes on in this house stays in this house. No matter what y'all are talking about, no matter what reasoning y'all try to cherry pick and make it seem like I'm misunderstanding, I ain't misunderstanding a motherfucking thing. I'm not misunderstanding a motherfucking thing. Y'all feel like things should be kept private. She shouldn't have told. And I feel like, why? Y'all are the only ones, people who are talking about this tarnished his image. Y'all are the only ones that feel that way. How do y'all know the kids even care? The kids probably wanted to know why their dad decided to commit suicide and leave them as well. Reading the journal entries to understand, as the wife who is now left with 3 children and 2 that aren't even teenagers yet, I imagine that lady was low-key pissed. It's not our business to know. That's cap. That's cap. None of this shit is any of our business to know. But how do we know about life and other people's stories if they aren't being told? And sometimes when people die, they can't tell their own stories. So other people tell their stories. People that were close to them. That is a common occurrence. It's a common occurrence for people to tell the story of the lives of dead people, child. It's low-key called history. But again, yes, they were public figures. They were all over TikTok. They were all over social media. This is somebody who had a fan base. People wanted to know why he committed suicide. Another thing, let's talk about the drug thing. She didn't call him an addict. That's not what I heard. She said she found shit that showed her he probably was battling and trying to self-medicate. A lot of us do that. That does not tarnish him. I don't think that makes Twitch look like a bad person. The only thing to me in real life that tarnishes people's images is finding out that they harmed other people and we just never knew about it. Finding out that you murdered somebody or that you molested somebody or you are somebody. Those are the only types of real allegations that I feel like can tarnish somebody. But the truth of the matter is, whatever happened is the truth of the matter. And I don't know why everybody is so obsessed with deifying people once they die. I really think it's not helpful for real, as an ideology for everyone to feel like we should only talk about the good parts. We shouldn't talk about the bad parts because then people are going to feel he's dishonored. How is he dishonored? That man is dead. That man is dead. Yes, let's talk about him not having drugs in his system. First of all, like I said, she did not call him an addict. She said, I found things that made me feel like he must have been trying to cope. He must have been trying to deal with it. I think I read something that said he had shrooms and stuff like that. And when people are going through like emotional, psychological problems, they do shrooms. They smoke their weed. They might, they in entertainment industry might have done a bag every now and again at a party. I don't think that she was saying, oh, he's just an addict and that's how he died. He committed suicide. So, of course, there's nothing in his system. That's what everybody's talking about. He didn't have anything in his system, but he still committed suicide, y'all, which means something was amiss. Something was wrong. And to me, when you really break it down, another part that everybody is upset about is that it seemed as if in his journal entries, which she read and talked about in her book, recovering from his suicide, trying to figure out what the fuck happened to him, she read his journals that he left. And in there, she read that he may have been assaulted by a family member, a male family member, when he was a child. So apparently all of the proceeds from her book is going to, some type of organization that she put together in his honor. People do that all the time. Okay. But either way, I feel like what y'all really don't like to deal with is the ugly truths that people deal with in life. And I want y'all to stop feeling like it's harming somebody for those truths to come out, especially when somebody has passed away. The lady literally said, I'm telling y'all this because I want y'all to pay attention to the signs. The whole book hasn't even come out yet. So everybody's jumping off the curb and they ain't even read the whole book yet. But to me, if you see a person smiling all the time, acting happy all the time, and then they commit suicide, if you have any type of emotional intelligence, they must have been battling something very deeply inside of themselves. And a lot of the times, there are only a few things that people battle with that deeply inside of themselves that stay with them for years and years and years. And a lot of the times, especially for men, it's them being touched as children and not feeling like they can talk about it to anybody because they're a Black man, and that makes them look like less of a man to somebody for them to talk about what happened to them. So for me, yes, I automatically thought about Robin Williams with him. I automatically thought about Robin Williams. And I'm sorry, but I feel like it's important to have these conversations about why people are hiding and keeping their dark depression within themselves to the point that it eventually ends with them ending their own life because they couldn't release it because they felt so much shame and guilt. And then he dies. His wife gets up there and says, this is what I think happened to my husband. And y'all are like, oh, you're tarnishing his image. If anybody has his image that affects them, it's her and her kids. It's her and her kids. And I absolutely feel like y'all are taking on this, let's protect this black man's image from this white woman that scammed him. Them people was together 15 years and had 3 fucking children together. If he felt like that lady was somebody he couldn't trust with his secrets, maybe he should have took them journals and got rid of them before he decided to unalive himself and leave her with 3 children to take care of on her own. And thank you. Also, what image? What image? I feel like in real life, y'all talk in euphemisms, and you talk in shit that you've heard other people say. But when you really boil down to it, what does that even mean? Do you really think that it is not going to help his kids eventually to know why he did that? Because to me, that's what would hurt me the most, is trying to figure out why you did this. And yes, there are also a lot of people that's acting like, oh, it's fishy. It's a conspiracy. He was linked to Ellen. Ellen was linked to Diddy. Maybe he knew something. Like, y'all, I can go on a rabbit hole with y'all anytime y'all would like, but only if y'all are going to present me with shit that actually helps me go down the rabbit hole with you. You can't just throw shit out there and then be like, oh, well, I can't say nothing. Well, I don't really know. Well, then don't lead us down the rabbit hole if you can't give us no fucking facts. Nobody was questioning whether he killed himself when he killed himself. Nobody was questioning it then. But y'all want to question it now because the wife then came out with a book? And y'all don't like it because she white and she not supposed to talk about whatever went on in his black ass family? Oh, yeah, the family getting an NDA. Let's talk about that. She gave the family an NDA before they came to the funeral. Now, I don't know why she may have done that. This lady could be sketch. I don't know. And I really don't care. But what I'm saying is, based on what we know, y'all are jumping off the porch, and it's not about anything real. It's about, as black people, feeling like you need to protect a black man's image from some white woman that is going to harm his image. Y'all, to me, let Emmett Till go, baby. Let him go. I know that's what y'all think about a lot of the times when y'all get into these modes. But that's not what's happening. It's a grown-ass black man that had a family with a white woman. He was with her, built a business with her for 15 fucking years, and then left her to deal with their life on her own and to grapple with that however she may. I don't know this lady. You're right. The friends mad, the family mad at her. Don't nobody like her right now. Everybody mad at her because they don't like that she's talking about these things. Is that really any different from a lot of black families and people, period, that don't like the secrets of somebody who has some shiny, perfect image? You know, y'all don't like the secrets to come out. But I always think about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was who he was to us in the civil rights movement. When you dive deeper into his life and find out he really didn't even want to marry his wife, which is why he cheated on her so often, and how he had a proclivity for white women and all of that type of shit, does that change the fact that he was one of the main people in the civil rights movement? Does it change the efforts that he put in to get us a little bit more equitable treatment in his country? I think the fuck not. I think we can all be like, Martin Luther King was a great civil rights activist and a whore. Those two things can go together, and it does not change how I feel about him. Still grateful for his existence. Still glad he did what he did. The fuck? To me, I need for everybody to stop thinking that everything that's not a positive on somebody's life means that it devalues their life in some type of way. It doesn't. Yes, people are complex and nuanced. And let's talk about people being complex and nuanced. How many of y'all have seen black families where they really don't like the white woman that the black man then decided to marry? And so there's a ostracizing that happens. Y'all might see him ever so often, but y'all ain't really cool with him and his wife like that. The funeral happens and she asked y'all to sign the NDA. The NDA could have been for a couple of reasons. She could have not wanted anybody to say anything about what they saw at the funeral, not want y'all to release anything on social media, because people like to go to their famous family members' funerals and take pictures and videos and put the shit on social media. She could have had them sign an NDA, so they did not do that. And she also could have had them sign an NDA so that in the future they would not release any information about him before her book came out, which definitely seems self-serving. But again, that's his wife. That's the mother of his children. That's the person who he chose. I don't see how her saying that he was struggling with some things when he committed suicide. Like I don't see that as the damaging uh the damage and a tarnish to his image that everybody is saying it is. I do not agree. I don't feel that way about it. It's not that big of a deal. Y'all know I smoke. People do drugs. Does that mean that they're bad people? No. And I feel like we were talking about this in the Discord, how y'all only do this shit when it comes to black men. Because nobody says anything about how y'all talk about Whitney Houston. Nobody says anything about the way y'all talk about Tina Turner and her being abused. There are so many things that happen to women that could be tarnishing to their images, and nobody's out there arguing and putting on capes and shit for it. And I personally feel like her ostracizing their family, that's their family shit. I don't feel no way about that because I don't know what's going on with that. But what I do recognize, if I read that something happened to my husband when he was a kid, and y'all motherfuckers didn't do nothing about it, and y'all knew about it, and I read it in his journal that y'all knew about it, I might not want my kids to come by y'all, because I might not trust that my kids are safe with y'all if y'all aren't paying attention to certain things. If y'all allow some type of abuse to happen to my husband, maybe y'all might allow some type of abuse to happen to my kids if they're in your care and he's not there with them. So no, I'm not sending my kids over to y'all house without me and all. No, I'm not doing that. Talking about, oh, she ain't letting us see the kids. What does that mean? Does that mean that she not letting y'all come pick them up? Or does that mean that, you tried to see him and she closed the door and locked the door and said y'all couldn't see him? Like, I need specifications. Where's the cousin? But they going ham about the autopsy. And I'm like, just because there was no drugs in the autopsy does not mean that he wasn't battling with something. And that was the whole point of the statement. I feel like y'all really picked that part out of what she said and zeroed in on it as if it wasn't for a reason. We're gonna talk about one more thing before I get out of here. She won't. So this is the cousin Big L. She won't let our family see the kids. He was an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit. He wasn't an addict. He smoked weed and was actively trying to quit. He wasn't some junkie. So right here, to me, nobody said he was some junkie. You're admitting that he smoked weed and that he was actively trying to quit. So why was he trying to quit smoking weed, girl? What he needed to stop smoking weed for? To me, I feel like you feel more shame about him smoking or people knowing that he smoked than a lot of us adults do. Like, to me, it didn't sound like she was trying to make him out to seem like a junkie. I don't feel that way. Yeah, I don't give a fuck about an NDA. This crazy woman made me and his actual family. And what do you mean his actual family? As if she's not his family. What do you mean by that? Because the nigga bust off in her and had 3 children with her. That's that man family too. What do you mean that's not, his actual family? Including sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refuses to let the boss family see the children. She's trying to tarnish his legacy. Again, how so? By pointing out that he may have used drugs. He committed suicide, bitch. The drugs is not the worst part of this. What is wrong? Only to exploit and lie on my cousin. Hell no. Okay, girl. I'm so tired. Like, I'm waiting for the lie. Where's the lie? She said he used drugs. She didn't call him an addict. She didn't call him, she didn't put the negative connotation, but you're saying he used the same shit that she said he used. He smoked weed. I'm so tired of keeping my fucking mouth shut, bro. You did our family so motherfucking dirty. Y'all, I don't care what none of y'all talking about. None of that is specific. None of what this cousin, very beautiful woman, but none of what she's saying is specific. Had y'all sign an NDA, mention that he smoked weed and did some drugs. Like, he committed suicide. It's obvious something was wrong. Why is it that y'all are harping on the drug part? He wasn't, like, we could tell he wasn't some, like, the man was working. We saw him. All of that is opinion with nothing real in it. But okay. Where's the mom? Y'all, we're going to talk about that pastor making that girl apologize to the church before we get out of here. Just know that. So, wait, Allison said all of this. And I remember, and to me, this didn't seem, her response didn't seem, as problematic as people probably made it seem. But let me continue. This is what the mama said. Our family is absolutely appalled by the misleading and hurtful claims made about our son, Stephen Boss. The recent publications spreading untruths about Stephen have crossed every line of decency. As his mother, I will not let these accusations go unanswered. We will not stand by while his name and legacy are tarnished. He doesn't deserve this, and the kids don't deserve this. For the last 2 years, I have remained quiet and away from the public eye to protect my family. My primary focus has been on healing and attempted to remain connected to my grandchildren. But when I read these dreadful claims about my baby, our beloved Stephen, I realized I could not stay silent any longer, that he smoked weed and was struggling with his mental health. I'm sorry, y'all. That's all I heard from what that lady said. That man smoked, did some other shit, but was mostly just struggling and trying to cope. That's all I heard the white lady say. I don't know why y'all are so upset. I don't know why y'all are so upset. And yes, the autopsy report is fucking public, bro. He didn't have anything in his system when he died. That does not. Do y'all know how long it take cocaine to get out your system? 72 hours. Maybe he stopped smoking weed before he committed suicide. That might be a thing that kind of pushed him over the edge. Like, think about if somebody had been smoking consistently for their life and they decide, I'm going to just stop cold turkey. And so they stop, but they're still going through a depression. They're still having a hard time, but they're no longer self-medicating. And then they do what? Commit suicide. Like, it low-key makes sense for why he wouldn't have anything in his system if he was using prior and stopped and was going through a depression. Also, people use drugs recreationally. But with the way she explained it, said that obviously he was trying to self-medicate and cope. I would have to say, yeah, probably, because he committed suicide. Like, this is not like his debt just ended like regularly or something like that. Like, the fuck? And weed take 30 days to get out your system. 30 days. Cocaine takes 72, 2 hours, I believe. Like, you don't, like, nobody fucking knows. And what if they didn't test him for shrooms? Like, like, he could have been microdosing. Who knows? That's like not even the important part about the story to me. That's not even the most important part. But everybody's acting like the knowledge of that is just so, oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like everybody's jumping off the porch. Okay, so what did the white lady say in response to what happened to her husband?
Dating.
Because leave her husband out of it. I'm sorry. To fans of Stephen and our family and friends, I want to be clear that my only intention in writing the book is to share my own story as well as part of my life with Stephen to help other people just like you. I never really knew what happened, and even as I am trying to put the pieces together, I will never really know. If you decide to read the book, hopefully you'll see my intention is to celebrate the love and life I share with Stephen and our 3 beautiful children, and also the more complex aspects of both our lives. I hope that by sharing our full story, maybe I can help someone else who might see themselves or a loved one in Stephen. In sharing, I hope that maybe they can catch some red flags that I missed before it's too late. Over the course of the last 2 years, I've spoken in detail with NAMI as well as the Solomon family and the Defensive Line Foundation to better educate myself on mental health issues so that I can share warning signs with others. All of my proceeds from this book are going to fund the mental health focused foundation I started in Stephen's honor. Move with kindness. My hope is that we don't need to lose another husband, father, brother, or friend to suicide. I believe that if Stephen was able to choose, he would choose to have his story told if it meant saving one life, even one life. Like, yeah, I don't know. Let me see. Okay, so this is what I want. Okay, let's get into it. This is from his manager, I believe. If you love Twitch, screenshot this and post it on your page. Your story everywhere. This ends today. What? What does that say? Lies. Okay. Dear Allison, you have lied for the last time on my brother. He was absolutely no addict. Again, the lady did not call him an addict. You will say and do anything for $1. An addict. You are the one that was messing with the coke, something, Molly and X. Oh, so she was just using drugs by herself in their relationship. Okay. That's not usually how that happens, but okay. I have all the proof. Play with somebody safe. country boy right here. I don't give a fuck. Every person who knew him knows you're lying and have been doing dirty crap for a long time. Should I post our last conversation? Please do. Try me. You have no idea what I have to post. Here's a few questions I have for you, though. Why did you make his mom sign an NDA to see her son's body? Why did his closest friends and family have to sign an NDA to attend his funeral? Because she don't trust y'all. Because she don't trust y'all. That's why. Why did you lie at the funeral about how every day was magical? It wasn't. He told me everything. So do y'all want him to make it? Do y'all want her to make it seem like everything was good? Or do y'all want her to admit that shit was also bad? I'm so confused. Cause like, come on, bro. Like you picking apart what she said at the funeral? He told me everything. You had to try and demonize Nelson, and now I see why. You demonize anyone in his life that found out the truth about you. You will say his friends aren't his friends. You will discredit anyone that knows the truth. You're a toxic woman, and I truly believe he would still be alive had he not been married to you. Why would she ever post this on her page? My only regret is telling him to work on it with you for the sake of the kids when he talked to me about leaving you. I just didn't know the full truth, just like everyone that supports you. We were both in the same situation, married to toxic narcissists that love black men as a fetish, that will lie and cry wolf. So you're projecting. So you're projecting. Lie and cry wolf and twist narratives and so-called evidence to be a victim and make $1. I don't see how she made herself a victim, like except for losing her husband. Like, but okay, I didn't read the book, so I don't know. We didn't have our dads the way we wanted, so we preserved through the book. So something might have actually happened. We preserved through the bullshit to be the best fathers we could. Today is the last day you do this. Well, the book is coming out, sweets. I was contacted about a TV show last year, and after sending their condolences about me losing Steven, guess what the producer said about you? The same thing all of them say about you. You're a money hungry, lying narcissist that will play victim and say and do anything for $1. Y'all, I want y'all to be clear. This man could be absolutely right. I don't know this white lady. I want y'all to be clear. He could be absolutely right. But again, where are there any fucking facts? What do you mean when you say that she's a narcissist and she's all out for $1? Besides this book, what else do you have to prove that? Like, what else? What else? Last question. Wasn't it your gun that he used? I don't care what y'all talking about. This is fucked up. Like y'all can say that this man is right to say all of this shit in this message he posted, but that's wow. Wasn't it your gun he used? Keep playing with my brother's name. This is the year of truth. Everything is offline. Nothing is off limits. Okay. Well, spray her. Post the text messages. Due to the recent selfish acts of a certain horrible piece of trash human being who only wants to use my best friend's memory to benefit herself and her stupid ass book she's selling, I think I want to go live and share some real, actual, heartfelt memories of Steven. Okay, I really think I think y'all are overreacting to what was said, if you ask me. These people, I think they're going off the porch. Like, so none of y'all did drugs? Nobody was struggling with anything? To me, in that last message, it sounded like you were saying he was struggling. It's just that she was the reason why he was struggling. Child, terrible white woman he spent 15 years with. I wonder what made him choose to marry her and stay with her. Anyway, I think I want to go live. I wonder if they went live. I don't know. You're the one that was doing them drugs. Okay. We know the real. Let's not forget what's up your nose. Okay. So she was doing drugs. Okay. They saying she was doing drugs. Another friend. Anyone who knows me knows I go straight to the source during conflict and handle my business. But since there's clearly no shame in being so public, I haven't said a word in 2 years, but here I go. It's so funny how everybody's mad at her for saying some shit. And so now they're like putting everything out there too. It's like, so like you gonna do the same thing she doing and then act like you're better? Okay. I was there the moment you both connected. I was there the day you got engaged. I stood by your side on your wedding day. I was in your home the day he died. I was by your side because your husband was my family. It didn't matter how often we spoke, how often we saw each other. We were bonded. Forever, God, I guess. Y'all couldn't just say forever. Anyway, this is by far the most tacky, classless, opportunistic act I have ever seen in my life. We all had to sign some weird NDA to attend his funeral, even his own mother, who you treated like garbage this entire time. And let's just remember, you wouldn't have even had a husband if it wasn't for her. Girl, in real life, I don't give a fuck about nothing you talking about. If I don't like his mama, that ain't got nothing to do with, oh, if it wasn't, yeah, great. Got it. Uh-huh. But you was her friend and standing by her side this whole time. She was this terrible person, but you was there with her up until he died. Okay. Let me continue, girl. Let me continue. Let's just remember, you wouldn't even have had a husband if it wasn't for her. Not to share anything or ruin his name as if that was on anyone's mind in the first place. And here you go and write a book with all the dirty laundry smearing his name and attempting to dim the bright, loyal, loving light that was your husband, my friend. Again, y'all, to dim the bright light, baby, he's gone. The light has been dimmed. The light has been put out, baby. Whether any of it is true or not is actually beside the point. This is how you protect the boss name. You so quickly dropped on your social media platforms 48 hours after he passed, his legacy. This is how you, is that true? How do we know if that's true? This is how you protect his children from any further humiliation, hurt, and despair. This is what you want them to remember about him. You have, I mean, again, y'all, the man unalived himself. Like, and the other one is a teenager. She's going to remember who he was. You have moved on. You're living your life. You're on every carpet, and you can get on every celebrity row you can sit in, every magazine you can be in, and you needed to do this. Get a journal, a therapist, a friend. But publishing a book, shamelessly sharing the pages of your husband's journal, People magazine, what a joke. Yes, he took his own life, which is a fact all of us still can't fathom. And he was clearly having mental health issues, hurting so deeply. And this is your example of empathy, of your love, this smear campaign for a buck. Y'all, I'm missing the smear campaign part, but okay. Like I said, maybe they read a part of the book I didn't read. It's absolutely not what he would have ever wanted, no matter how bad he was hurting. Not for a second. You're a living, breathing bulldozer. Stick to your own demons. Shame on you, Allison. Shame on your money-hungry team. Let my friend rest in peace, not your PR. Okay. Yeah, y'all. I think that every single person that I have read from, I'm sorry, but what male figure in the family allegedly molested him? I wish I knew. If he wrote about it in his diary, I don't see how we could have known. Plus, Steven is older than me, so anything in his childhood I would not have been privy to unless he said it himself. Oh, okay. So you don't know. You calling shit lies, but you telling us you couldn't possibly really know the truth. Yeah, I think y'all are just having a weird whatever goes on in the house needs to stay in the house because this doesn't look good. He has a shiny, happy image, and we don't want people to know that he could have possibly been struggling with his mental health, even though he unalived himself, which is the ultimate evidence of that. That's no, I absolutely consider that she, she may not have been able to collect any life insurance to support herself and her children, so she decided to write the book. I also said that. She changed it on social media. Okay. So maybe she didn't like that man like that, y'all. Maybe she didn't like him. Maybe she is a money-hungry wench that could not wait until he passed away to write a book and move on like Maya and make some money off of it. Okay. Again, he married her. And unless somebody can prove to me that there was foul play, please stop insinuating that it wasn't what it was. Because if it was exactly what we have been hearing that it is, it's just unaliving himself, I think it's terrible for you to insinuate that she would have done that. Yeah, people are saying that maybe she unalived him, and I feel like that's really harsh. I think you don't have any real evidence of that. And I also feel like I don't think that it's up to anybody to tell somebody when to move on. I don't think it's up to you to tell anybody when it's time to move on. What if their relationship was fucked up on both sides? What if he was fucked up to her and she was fucked up to him? But more so, I imagine she would be really angry about him unaliving himself like that. Like, nigga, are you really gonna leave me with these kids? Who knows? It's a range of emotions. But what I feel the most is y'all online tripping out about this tarnishing of his image, this, making him look bad by saying that he self-medicated to cope. It's not that big of a deal. She shouldn't have used his journals. I think that's an opinion you can have, but legally, everything that he left was hers to do with whatever she felt. And somebody that has had suicidal ideations before, you think about those things. You think about what it would be to leave shit behind, to be found. People joke like I've joked with one of my friends before about, girl, don't let nothing happen to me and these text messages get out. We joked about that shit before. People be thinking about that type of stuff, which is why I feel like it's a little bit y'all jumping out there when y'all don't know if he may have actually wanted his story to be told by his wife in his death and just could not do it himself. But it doesn't seem like a smear campaign it doesn't seem like a smear campaign to me. Yes, and people think just because, she mentioned drugs and shit, she didn't know what it was. Maybe she didn't know what some of it was. Maybe she only know what coke looked like. Okay? Maybe I only know what certain drugs look like. I feel like images can't really be tarnished because at the end of the day the truth is the truth and a person is who they are. Like what they've done is what they've done, who they are is who they are, whether you know it or not. So your knowledge of it doesn't change the facts of the situation, in my opinion. And I also feel like once somebody is gone, like, you ain't know that man. Like, what you care for? Like, I'm sorry. Like, sometimes people just be tripping, people online. His family, I can understand them feeling away, but I also feel like, how does this really harm his image? I don't get it. To me, drug use doesn't tarnish a celeb's image. It actually humanizes them more to the public. That's what I was thinking. I was like, this does not make me think that Twitch was a bad guy. This doesn't make me think that Twitch was a bad guy, y'all. I'm sorry. I didn't even really know Twitch like that. It just, to me now, all of that fucking smiling makes sense. Nicole Mason, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Hello, good afternoon. Keep up the good work. Thank you. And thank you again. Kimmy Kim, child, at least Newsom was there when we had our freeze in Texas cruise left for warmer weather. I know that's fucking right. December Sagittarius, thank you for becoming a member, babe. Hey, Cherie, what's going on? We need to be honest. People are mad because she's white, and we have been taught to be ashamed of people who take themselves out. Yeah, yeah. And of people who've been assaulted. Faith is all we need. Thank you for the super chat. Was it drugs or was it alternative lifestyle? Did she not say? No, she just said that it was obvious. She found a whole bunch of different drugs and she felt like that was a sign that he must have been coping and trying to self-medicate, which that's exactly what that is, no matter how you slice it. Faith is all we need. Thank you for another super chat. Bonnie Blue, you are the realist. I try. I really do. Side West, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Bonnie, off topic. Are the frames from frame? No, these are from Zlul. These are from Zlul, and I don't have a link, but they be all over there. They have a red top and a gold frame one that I want to get. Trina Jersey, girl, thank you for being a member for 8 months. My cousin and I say the same thing. If something happened to one of us, destroy the phone. I'm telling you, you think about these things, man. So yeah, y'all so silly. I wonder if she thinks of her own drug use as coping. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does. Also, I feel like y'all are taking what that person said as like fact, but they live in an entertainment industry. I'm sure they've all used shit from time to time. Like, I'm sure they have, but she did not unalive herself. So I don't think it's necessarily the point, is what I'm saying. I think everybody focusing so heavily on her saying that he was an addict is because y'all feel like she's looking down on him. And I don't think that's what that was about. I think it was just trying to make sense of the fact that this man took his own life, and it needs to make sense because it hurts too much when you don't find like some type of bright light, some value in this shit show of a situation. It's what I think, y'all. But anyway, y'all gonna be mad because that's just how y'all be, and y'all continue to fight and windmill on behalf of men's images, which aren't even real things. But do your thing, girl. Do your thing.